So today I am so excited to introduce Mike Chamberlin, who will be performing Academy Award-winning songs and an 80th anniversary tribute to The Wizard of Oz. He'll spend about 20 minutes entertaining us. So we hope that you enjoy the concert, and I would like to welcome you, Mike.
Well, thank you, Julie. What an honor to be with you. This is a good day to be here because the Oscars, the Academy Awards, just took place this past Sunday night. And what I'm going to do is look back on some Academy Award-winning songs as much as I can do in 20 minutes. And then we are going to pay tribute to probably the greatest musical of all time, The Wizard of Oz. You can see I brought my friends with me behind me there, and I'll tell you about them some story. I got some great stories about The Wizard of Oz. So anyway, let's start with... This is one from a 1952 movie that made Gene Kelly a billionaire with just one song and dance. So anyway, it's from a movie called Singin' in the Rain, and it starred Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, and a 17-year-old Debbie Reynolds. Can you believe it? 17, and there she was, sandwiched between two of the greatest dancers, two of the greatest hoofers that Hollywood ever gave us. I can't even imagine how nervous she had to have been on the first day of shooting, but I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I walk down the lane with this happy refrain. I'm a singing and dancing in the rain. I read a book about the making of Singing in the Rain, and Debbie Reynolds tells the cutest story that she was having a difficult time keeping up with these two great Hollywood dancers. So after 12 hours of shooting, she would go to the rehearsal hall getting ready for the next day's dance routine. And at one point, she had just had it, and she saw a piano in the rehearsal hall, and she crawled underneath it and just started crying. Well, a gentleman was walking down the hallway. This is a story according to Debbie. And he poked his head into the rehearsal hall when he heard some crying, and he could see her under the piano. And he says, "Are you okay under there?" And she goes, "No, I'm not. My name is Debbie Reynolds, and I'm in this movie with Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor, and I just can't keep up with them." And the gentleman said to her, "Well, you got two choices." He said, "You could quit the film. I doubt that MGM would fire or sue a 17-year-old teenager." He said, "Or you can come out from underneath that piano and you can work twice as hard as you have been and show Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor what dancing's all about." Well, obviously, she took his second piece of advice. And I should tell you that the gentleman who stopped by the rehearsal hall that afternoon was none other than Fred Astaire. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. And I walk down the lane with this happy refrain. I'm a singing and dancing in the rain. Do-do-do. Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little history to the song "Singing in the Rain." What a great movie it was. I love musicals, and a lot of the great ones came out of the 1950s. You know, I don't even know where to begin. But this next one was a movie that starred Deborah Carr and Yul Brynner. And in the movie, Deborah Carr sang this song. Although she didn't really sing it, there was a singer in Hollywood, she passed away recently, named Marni Nixon, M-A-R-N-I, Nixon. Marni Nixon used to do all the singing for the female movie stars who couldn't sing. She sang for Marilyn Monroe and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. She sang for Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. And she sang this one for Deborah Carr in The King and I. So, and she never really got her just due. I mean, later in life she got it, but at the time, everybody thought these actresses were doing the singing when actually it was Marni Nixon singing songs like this. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Let's go around again. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Day by day. That's from The King and I. Marnie Nixon sang it for Deborah Carr. Isn't that something? Well, I noticed that Disneyland opened today after being shut down for almost a year or more. And it's open, not to the public. I think it opens up to the public on April 30th, but they opened it at a soft opening, as they call it, a soft opening for the cast members and guests of the cast members. So I thought, now that that's back, when Disney opens, we're back in business. Everybody's back in business. And we all love Disney and what it stands for. So I thought I would do a Disney song for you today. And again, if you want to sing along at home or in the office or wherever you are, you're more than welcome to. Anyway, here we go. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine's heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine's heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity hey, Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual, everything is satisfactual. Zippity doo dah, zippity hey. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine's heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity doo day. Disneyland's back in business. We're all back in business. I think that's just wonderful. Well, let's pay a tribute to my cast behind me here today. I call it an 80th anniversary tribute to The Wizard of Oz, although that was 2 years ago. The movie was made in 1939. It was directed by a gentleman named Victor Fleming. So this would be the 82nd anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. It was directed by a gentleman named Victor Fleming. Victor Fleming also directed Gone with the Wind in the very same year, 1939. He directed two classics in the same year. I mean, sometimes you give a director 3 years to do a movie and it's a piece of junk, but this guy does two classics in the same year. What a year it was, 1939. So anyway, of course, it starred, well, you know them all. The star was Judy Garland, and we'll pay tribute to her in just a second. But you can see behind me, there was the Wicked Witch that was played by Margaret Hamilton. Behind them, you can't really see them, are the little, the Munchkins. And there were 124 Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz. They have all since passed. But I was a newscaster in Phoenix, Arizona for 20 years. And one of the best stories that I ever did had to do with one of the Munchkins. There were two Munchkins. This was, 10 years ago, and there were five surviving Munchkins at that point. And two of the five surviving Munchkins lived in the Phoenix metropolitan area. One lived in her own home in a city called Glendale, Arizona, and the other one lived in a retirement home called Peoria, Arizona. So I reunited these two Munchkins who hadn't seen each other in years. And I started at the one Munchkin's house, and the one that lived independently in her home, and I knocked on the door. And the door opens and there's nobody there. She's down here. She's 3 feet 2 inches tall. So she invites me in and gives me a tour of her house. Everything in the house had to do with the Wizard of Oz. I think the salt and pepper shakers were the Scarecrow and the Lion. But anyway, I interviewed her, and then I put her in my car and drove her over to the retirement home where the other Munchkin lived. But as I'm driving, I'm thinking to myself as I look down, I go, oh my gosh, there's a Munchkin in my car. Her little feet didn't even hit the floorboard of my car. But anyway, I took her in, reunited these two Munchkins. Although they lived 10 miles apart, they hadn't seen each other in 10 years. So it was fun to reunite them. And I learned a lot about the Wizard of Oz that day. One of the Munchkins told me that they made $150 a week for 6 weeks to be part of one of the greatest movies of all time. She also told me that Toto the dog actually made more money than she did. And then her footnote was that Toto the dog had a better agent than she did. So, but then, the rest of the cast, there's the Tin Man that was originally played by Buddy Epson, but he got lead poisoning from the makeup they were putting on him. They were dusting on him. And he was replaced by Jack Haley. And then the Cowardly Lion was Bert Lahr. And the gentleman that played the Scarecrow, my favorite of them all, was Ray Bolger. He was my favorite because he didn't have any legs. He could never find himself. He was always kind of falling down and stuff. But he was given, I think, one of the greatest songs, most overlooked songs in the entire movie. So let me see if I can find some good ground with this one. I could while away the hours conversing with the flowers, consulting with the rain. And my head I'd be scratching from the thoughts I was hatching if I only had a brain. I'd unravel every riddle for every end of fiddle in sorrow or in pain. With the thoughts I was thinking I could be another Lincoln if I only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. I could think of things I never thought before. And then I'd sit and think some more. I would not be just a nothing, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I could dance and be merry, and life wouldn't be so scary if I only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. I could think of things I never thought before. And then I'd sit and think some more. I would not be just a nothing, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I could dance and be merry, life wouldn't be so scary if I only had a brain, had a brain. Well, at this point, I'm going to do some show and tell. I sang let me set my guitar down. I sang at a Wizard of Oz convention a couple of years ago. And they have a convention every year for it's called OzCon, and they come from all over the world literally to attend OzCon. And it was held in Pomona a couple of years ago, and they heard about me and they called me and asked me if I would do my concert for them at OzCon on their Saturday night of the convention, and I did. And so I did my little concert, and after I sang, they presented me with a plaque, and I just have to share it with you. And I'll try and work my way through it. There's Ray Bolger. I know the ring light's on it. There's Ray Bolger. Now the payoff to this whole plaque, well, let me put it this way. There is a letter of authentication here. Ray Bolger is authenticating that the straw on this plaque was actually from the Wizard of Oz. So it's authenticated. What you're about to see this little piece of straw, these strands of straw, can you see them? I'll get them really close. Those pieces of straw were from the actual costume of the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. Isn't that something? And then there's a plaque on there too that identifies all this. Isn't that something? You know, I'll tell you, I gotta tell you, I was packing up that night to go home, and I'm in the parking lot putting my singing equipment away. And a gentleman walks up to me and he says, Mike, I will give you $1,000 for that plaque right now. You know what I said? Obviously I kept it. I said, you know, on another day and a different time, I probably would have taken you up on that, but not today, because that plaque means so much to me. So when I do my concerts, I always take it and invite the audience to come up afterwards, and it's the actual straw from the costume of the Scarecrow and the Wizard of Oz. My gosh! So anyway, it's a huge hit when I do these concerts. And so, well, the one we didn't talk about was Judy Garland, Over My Shoulder. She was just 17 years old when she made this movie. And where do you begin? Well, some actors or actresses give everything for the movie. Judy Garland ended up almost in a roundabout way giving her life. She started gaining weight during the making of The Wizard of Oz and was having a hard time fitting into that costume. So the executives and the lawyers at MGM decided to put her on a diet of chicken soup, coffee, and barbiturates to get her weight down to where it should have been. Well, it turned out to be the beginning of a lifelong drug problem, and she passed away from an overdose at a very young age, in her 40s. But she truly gave everything for this movie, but she was also handed what may be the greatest song to ever come out of a movie. And it's Over the Rainbow. And Over the Rainbow almost didn't make it into the movie. Victor Fleming, the director I told you about, he had a running time that he wanted The Wizard of Oz to be, and the movie started running long. And so they went to him and said, Victor, the movie's 3 minutes longer than you asked it to be. What do you want us to do? And Victor says, I don't know. Why don't you edit out that rainbow song? And so they did. They took it out of the movie, and then they did some more splicing and dicing and editing and shooting. And they went back to Victor with another problem. They said, Victor, we're 3 minutes short now from what you wanted to do. So what do you want us to do? He goes, I don't know, throw the doggone rainbow song back in. And they did. We came this close to not having one of the greatest songs to ever come out of a musical. And I will say that sometimes a singer gets it right the first time, and Judy Garland got it right the first time. Everybody has tried to do the song better. Nobody ever has, and I feel silly even trying to do it, because I can't come even anywhere near what she did at 17 years of age, no less. So I'll give it my best. But this truly is, I think, the greatest song to ever come out of a Hollywood musical. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. One day I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops. Way across the chimney tops is where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Over the Rainbow won the Academy Award for the Best Song in 1939. It won all kinds of awards. That movie was so far ahead of itself that it's almost crazy. I mean, the special effects that they did and everything else. Well, I wish I had more time. We agreed to 20 minutes, and I literally, I do a whole show with music from the movie, songs that won Academy Awards. It runs well over an hour. But I thank Julie and her group for putting this on and letting me sing and give you a little bit of the history behind the Wizard of Oz and some of these other songs. We were truly lucky. When I say we, I mean people of my age group and 60 and over, to grow up with a lot of these wonderful musicals. And although it's back, I will say I was so happy when La La Land came back. It meant the musical was back after like a 30-year absence. So it was good to have it back. And musicals are the soundtrack of our lives. And it's an honor to be with you today. And I will say thank you very much. My name is Mike Chamberlin. I did play guitar, by the way. I wasn't singing a track. But I do appreciate you tuning in. And Julie, I appreciate you for having me. And